question, right? I will give you 5 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds. There's not going to be more than this, right? 5 seconds. I think your time is already over, right? With the minimum number of continuous lines required to connect all the 9 bubbles is shown in the figure, right? So if you're watching, National Geographic, I think you know the answer. National Geographic in Discovery, you know the answer for this, right? Pretty simple. Right. Let's start with another question. I'm not sure if something like this would even feature in your LRDI section, but why not? Why not? It can. If there were 9 dots, a place like this in a matrix, then most of us would have started thinking in the fashion like what I'm going to think now, right? So we start here. That's 1. That's 2. That is 3, and that is 4, right? Continuous line. See, please understand the word says continuous line. So you cannot lift the pen. It's going to be continuous. Yeah, and don't bother about the line, about the dots not fitting in the line. I should have used a scale or something, right, to make it look more continuous. So that would be 4. But the question is slightly different here. The question is slightly different here. They're not asking for the dots. We're talking of bubbles. So the answer is slightly better. That's 1 line, that's 2 line, and that's 3 line. Again, don't go by this part. If you check it out with a scale or something, it could be done in 3 lines. Okay, let me do one thing. Let's try it again. Okay, let's try it again. That's like 1, that's like 2, and that's like 3. Almost there, huh? Fine. 3 straight lines. Okay, with that you can finish off this problem, right? Good. We have another one here. This is where I'm going to give you some time. I want to read. I want you to read it. I want you to read this data. I will give you 60 seconds to read this data, right? 60 seconds. Post which I'm going to give you another piece of data. That is this. I'm going to give you another 60 seconds to read this. And then you can look at the question. Which of the following must have been 2 sources? How many excluded mastermind? Okay, there were 5 questions which came in CAT. Brilliant case slit. CAT 2005, I should guess this question was from, right? So I'll give you overall, I'll give you, 120 seconds. The max I would have given to 60. Time starts now. Okay, so that's your 1 minute. I hope you've read it. If not, take another 10 seconds more, and I'll go to that particular table. Right? If you've understood this, then the table becomes pretty clear. Yeah. So let's look at the table now. So we have another 30-40 seconds. Just look it up. Okay, so it's almost your time. Yeah, shall we start? Good. So what we shall do is let's read the entire data, right? Let's read the entire data and we will understand. Okay, this table is clear, right? We have name of person, we have the wrong answers, we have the blank answer, right? So I would like to write the source of the person. That means the person from whom they copied, right? And the last part would be the wrong answer introduced. We'll understand that in a while, okay? We'll understand in a while, but let's come back to the question, right? So this is a nice cat question, right? Pretty beautifully made, right? And so what's happened? What's happened? There was a test, they say, right? Held nationwide, and there is some information about the test. There is some information given about the test. And a group of unscrupulous people has leaked it. Then and the name of they've used it. So they've arrested one person and 9 others. So there's a mastermind, and there is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. So A through I, right? And there's something they obtained. So I'm assuming that the mastermind was so masterminded, right, that the mastermind would have gone ahead and taken the 200 questions and answered all 200 of the 200 correct. All the mastermind had to do is decrease the number of questions correct, and I think it would have been a safe bet, right? But the mastermind would have been a very greedy person, right? Would have attempted all 200 of the 200. So one more trivia for you. As on date, we do not have 100% percentile in CAT. What I mean to say is there's nobody who scored the complete marks, right? 100 percentile would normally hover about 80% of the total marks. What I'm saying is out of 300, right? Out of a score of 300, 100 percentile would generally be around 240, right? A little more also will be there, a little less will also be there. And it will close at about 70. So 70 to 80% of the total marks would normally be 100 percentile. Last year there were about 20 100 percentile. So they're all scoring within that range, 210 to 240, 250, right? No one is scoring a 300 out of 300. That's insane, right? So don't go with the notion that you have to attempt all the questions and get many of them wrong. Even if you skip around 10-15% of the questions, I think you're good to go provided your other questions are right. So it's not a say that everyone has to attempt. Second thing, what if the paper is very simple, right? Is it necessary that the cutoff is going to be very high? Not necessary. Look at CAT 2014, right? A paper was simple, but the cutoff didn't go very high. Because no one anticipates the paper is going to be very simple. Everyone is going to see the difficulty or the ease of the paper during the examination time. There's some mindset there, right? Even then, if the paper is easy and extremely easy, right? We don't use that word with easy. The paper is literally, a cakewalk. In that case, even then, the cutoffs are not going to go beyond that 60% of the total marks. Please don't assume that because it's easy, cutoffs has to be something like 80%. Not happening. Really not happening. In fact, if you notice, right, the IIMs are decreasing their cutoff requirement, right? Okay, but yes, getting a high cutoff, getting high marks percentile is always good. Plus, it really means it pays off for the effort that you've put in, right? So, coming back to the question, so there were some facts obtained. So, what's happened is this mastermind answered all the questions, right? And then people copied from the mastermind and other sources, right? If a person is copied from the mastermind, they would have copied all the answers and changed one of the question's answer. What I mean to say, let's assume the question 1, the right answer option is A. The mastermind would have marked A, right? The mastermind is also marked A. It's someone else. Only question 1. Only one question they're going to change. Let's say the person's name is I. I would have changed the question 1 to a wrong answer option called B. And rest of the answers, that means let's say question 2, question 3, question 4, the right answer option, right? In each case, let's say this is B, this is C, this is D, right? All of them would have marked this A would have marked B, C, D, but only for the question number, question number 1, I would have marked the answer as B or something else, C or D, right? Which means that, if you compare both the papers, right, you will see there is some mismatch. So it will become difficult for someone to spot, right? But let's assume someone copies from I, right? Someone copies from I. Let's say G copies from I. So G would not change this answer option, right? And G sources I sources, let's say, mastermind. G would make this answer option B. Let's say G makes another new answer option. So let's say this B is changed to something like D, and the C and D would remain. That means only one wrong introduced, right? This is how it looks. You copy from somebody. Now let's say another person called E copies from both I and G. You look at the question 1. Look at the question 1. All of you, just have a look at the question 1. Right? In the question 1, A, mastermind is marked as A, you leave it. But I and G, one of them is marked as B, another one is marked as B. So E will also mark it as B. That means it's a wrong answer, though is marked it from two sources. If A is copied from both B and G. Right? The question 2, one answer option is B, another answer option is D. So this will be left blank. The question 3, both the answer options are C and C. So someone will, let's say, write C. Question D, both the answer option is D and D, but they will change one answer option. So let's say instead of D, they make it A. And let's say one last person, let's say one person by name C is copying from, somebody like, a mastermind and I, right? Then what will happen is, right, the first answer option would be left blank because A is there and B is there, and B will be normal, right? There would be an answer option like C, which would now change because everyone will change a unique answer option, right? And this would be D, but answer option C is already changed by the person E, so C will change a new answer option. Let's say this answer option will become something like B or something, does not matter, right? So this is how the process is. They're going to copy like this, right? So that's what is written in detail. So the data here is that uh, all the others are creating their key in the following manner. They obtain the answer key from one or two persons who already possess the same. These people are called sources, right? Or source. If the person has two sources, then he or she compares the answer keys obtained from both sources. If the key to question from both sources is identical, it is copied, otherwise it's left blank. You see, otherwise it's left blank. If the person has only one source, he or she copies the source's answers into his or her copy. Finally, each person compulsorily replaces one of the answers, not a blank one, with the wrong answer in his or her answer key. Right? One replacement has to be there, not a blank one. One replacement. That means someone else has created an answer option. You'll not change it, right? You'll retain it, right? Somehow they got this logic. They know how to retain it. That's super unique, right? And I wish these guys had concentrated this much in attempting to work on the cat paper, right? Instead of memorizing all these answer keys, right? And looking at sources, I think they would have cracked cat, right? This is really a mastermind problem if they have done something of this order. So let's look at the data now. I think the data is pretty clear here, right? So they've tabulated all of this in a table, right? The table shown in the adjacent page, so we'll see the table in detail, right? So now to think of it, right? We need to understand whom to start with. Of course, we will start with the person who has no blank. Second, whose number of wrong answer option is less. So we can start with a person like, let's say, A, or we can start with the person, let's say, D, or we can start with the person, let's say, G. Why these people, right? Because these people have no blank, which means there are no two sources. Second, there is only one wrong answer. That means they have probably copied from one person only and changed it. And who could that person be? That would definitely be the mastermind. If A is copied from the mastermind, A would have copied all the answers what the mastermind is copied and got one wrong answer as 46. That means question number 46, he would have copied it right, or she would have copied it right, and thereafter changed the answer for that question, the answer option for that question. That's why no blank. Likewise, D would have also copied from the mastermind and left the question number 17 as blank. That's pretty easy, right? Are we making sense here? Question number 17 would have been left blank by D. And the complete thing from the mastermind, that means only one source. We could also look at the person by name G. G is also definitely copied from the mastermind, and G has a copyright on making the wrong answer option for the question number 25. So these three persons we could have easily mapped at the beginning. I hope there are some questions based on this. We'll just have a look, right? So, whom among the following must have two sources? No. How many people excluding the mastermind? No. Both G and H are sources? No. Which of the following two groups of people had identical sources? A, D, and G. As of now, have identical sources. E and H we'll have to check. A, D, and G all copied from the mastermind. So it's not completely helped us, but fine. As of now, we are doing good. Who are the next people that we would like to check? Yeah, what guesses? What guesses? Who is the next person that you want to probably start wondering about? Yep, I can I can I'm sure you guys are thinking of E. Yeah, very nice. E and H, right? We are looking at E. We are looking at E and H, and why so? Right? They have no blank, which automatically means they have a single source, right? And they have copied from somebody, right? They've got one answer wrong, which is directly copied from that person, and they must have introduced one wrong answer because each one will introduce one wrong answer. If you look at E, he has got 46 wrong and question number 90 as well wrong, right? 46 could have easily been copied from A. So if E copies from A, question 46 would have in any case been wrong, and E could have introduced one new wrong answer. That's called question 90, right? Okay, that's how E is doing. And let's look at H. H is also got question 46 wrong and question 92 as well wrong. That means the source for this person should again be A. Can we say that? Right? Can we say that? Yeah? Could again be A because A you have copied from A and 46 would have been wrong, but one new question you've got to introduce, that would have been 92. Right, so we have done out of the 9, we have finished 5 of them, there's just 4 to go, and I think that's pretty easy bet from here. Right, that's pretty simple question to work from this word. Go. Okay, who are the next persons that you guys would like to interpret? Right, who are the next set of people? Right, okay, can we hear it from anyone? Yeah, good, I like the thinking. The next person we are going to likely check is going to become, for sure, F. Right? The YF. And who could be the source of F? You'll notice F has got two wrong answers. One is 90 and another one is 92. Right? But has got question 46 as wrong and question 14 as another wrong. Which easily means, right? If you check E and H, E has 90 wrong, but H would have had the question number 90 correct. Right? Likewise, H would have got 92 wrong, but E would have got 92 right. So if F copies from E and H, the question 90 would be right in one of them, question 90 would be wrong in another, question 92 would be wrong in one and right in the other. That's why the blanks. The question 46 is wrong in both the cases, so it does not matter, you'll just copy it, right? And the wrong answer will be wrong for everybody, the same answer option. Right, that means no one else can change question number 46. Who has done 46 wrong? That is A. So A has a copyright on that answer option, right? You cannot change it now. And the new wrong answer introduced would definitely be 14, right? Would definitely be 14. So that's good. The next person, right? The next person that we'd like to interpret is yeah. Any guesses here? Of course, that would be B and I. Right? Whom do you presume could be the source for B? Yeah, I can hear that. That's good. That would be a E and G. Or let's write it the other way. Right? That's a G and E. Or E and G. Okay. So what happens? G has got 25 wrong. E has got 25 correct. Okay, because there is no mention of 25 being incorrect. So definitely, that would be a blank answer. 90 is wrong for E but right for G. 46 is wrong for E but right for G. So the three blanks, that's what we've written here. And question 96 is a new question that this guy introduced or this girl introduced, right? So that's pretty much what we want here. Okay, so that's quite some data. Also, let's look at I, right? Who's talking to I? Who's talking to I? Or I is helping whom? 17 is blank, 46 is blank, and 90 is blank. So what do you think? Whom should this person copy from? Right? We're talking of I. 17 is wrong, 46 is 17 is blank, 46 is blank, 90 is blank. Very good. Okay, good. You guys are giving the answer both D and E. So if you copy from D and D, question 17 would automatically be wrong for D but right for E. 46 wrong for E but right for D. 90 wrong for E but right for D. And one more question, wrong answer that would have been introduced. That would definitely be the question number 27. Yeah, and there's no marks for guessing. Who would be the source of C? That is straightforward, no brainer. I don't think we need to even think of a question that's simple, right? The source is automatically going to be I for C, right? The source is I. So that pretty much sums up the question. And the wrong answer, of course, we want to introduce a wrong answer. That would be 56. So what happened in the case of C? C is directly copied from I. 17 was blank, 46 was blank, 90 was blank, so as it is blank. 27 was wrong, so this person will write it wrong, and new wrong introduced should have been 56. So that's pretty much what we wanted in the data, and now we can go ahead and answer some of the questions, right? Which of the following must have two sources? So you'll notice the two source people, that is B, two source people, that is F, two source people, that is I. So we have B, F, and I. So we have B, F, and I. In this question, there's only one answer, right? So we're looking at B. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so let's move to the next part. The next one asks or tells us about how many people, excluding the mastermind, needed to make answer keys before C could make his answer key. Now this will require some effort before C could make his answer key. So C, you'll notice C made the answer key, right, only after I. Right? C made the answer key only after I had done the answer key. Okay, that's a person by name I. And I had to make an answer key only after D and E. Both of them made the answer key. Right? D is copied from the mastermind, of course. Right? While E has copied from A, and A has again copied from the mastermind. So mastermind is here. After that, A copied and D copied. Then E copied from A, while I copied from D. The person named I copied from D, and C is copied from I. So the question was asking how many people apart from the mastermind needed to work with the answer key before C could work. Right? So A had to finish, E had to finish, D had to finish, and I had to finish. Which means there were 4 people who had to work, excluding the mastermind, to make the answer key before C could publish his or her case. Right? There are 4 of them. Okay? Both G and H were sourced for whom? Right? So both G and H. So do we have a G and H source for anybody here? G and H. 25, 46, and 92. We don't even have a 25, 46, 92. Both G and H, right? It's none of this. That's simple. Which of the following statements is true? C introduced the wrong answer for question 27. Well, right? That's not true. Okay. E introduced the question 46, F for 14, and H also for 46. And that gives you some clue, right? So 46 was introduced by A, and H introduced question number 92, right? So that's wrong. But did F introduce the question number 14? Well, that's right. Okay. So F introduced the question number 14. And the last one, which is the following two groups of people had identical sources. So we know that A, D, and G all copy from the mastermind. And also, if you look for E and H, okay, E and H, right, had identical sources. The E source was A and H source was also A, right? Both sources were A. So both 1 and 2 had identical sources. So nice, interesting. There is numbers here, but still the question is not just numbers. The question is thinking beyond the numbers. Right? So don't get bogged when you look at these numbers. Oh, okay. In this case, you might wonder, is it a lot of calculation? But you notice that there is absolutely no calculation involved in this question. It's just about reading that initial data, assimilating that data, and I think we're good to go, right? There is no concept of averages or anything that is working in this question. That makes it really nice. Okay, so all good. So this case it is fine, right? I hope all are good. Fine. You guys are ready to stretch, right? Yeah. I think let's take this, right? Thank you. Let's work on the stretch. Fine. So let's take a question now. Let's take a caselet, right? I give you just about 30 seconds. This is way too easy. Right, so you have about 30 seconds. Please go through it and try to answer.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Okay, so there goes your 30 seconds. Easy caselet. There's absolutely no numbers here. Should be simple one to work with. Okay, simple. There are three gentlemen in a meeting. Mr. Yellow. So Mr. Yellow, Mr. Green, and Mr. Brown. Simple. They are wearing yellow, green, and brown ties, though not respectively. Mr. Yellow says, did you notice that the colors of our ties are different from our names? That means he's trying to make a statement, which means that Mr. Yellow's tie color is definitely not yellow. As of now, we can say, but the person who is wearing the green tie says, yes, you are right. So Mr. Yellow could wear a green or a brown tie, right? The person who is wearing the green tie says, yes, you are right. So can we say that the person who is wearing a green tie is definitely not Mr. Green? Otherwise, he cannot say, yes, you are right. Otherwise, this statement will not hold true, that the color of our ties are different from our names. When he says, yes, you are right, Mr. Green cannot be wearing the green color. Second, if Mr. Green is not wearing the green color tie, who can wear the green color tie? Could it be Mr. Yellow or Mr. Brown? Now it's pretty obvious when Mr. Yellow asks a question like this. Did you notice that the color of our ties are different from our names? Definitely Mr. Yellow cannot answer to himself, yes, you are right. Somebody else would answer to Mr. Yellow. That means Mr. Yellow's tie color, necktie color is also not green. That means it has to be blue, which puts Mr. Blue in the spot. He has to own up that he is wearing the green color tie. So the one tie which is left with us is the yellow color, which must be held by Mr. Green. Right? Now we're good with this. Pretty simple. I'll repeat quickly. Okay. Mr. Yellow, we know that Mr. Yellow says that the color of our ties are different from our names. Mr. Yellow is definitely not wearing a yellow color tie. It must either be a green or be a blue colored tie, right? But the problem is it cannot be a green colored tie because Mr. Yellow cannot answer to himself, yes, you are right. Okay, that means somebody else is wearing a green colored tie, which cannot be Mr. Green because the colors of ties are different, right? Because yes, you're right, that means that's a right statement, it's not a false statement. So Mr. Blue must be wearing a green color tie, and automatically that means Mr. Yellow must be wearing blue color tie, and Mr. Green is whatever leftover color, that is the yellow color tie, right? So who's wearing the, okay, that's brown, brown, not blue. Mr. Brown is wearing the brown colored tie, right? Who's wearing the brown colored tie? Brown tie is worn by Mr. Yellow. And who is wearing the yellow tie? The yellow tie is worn by Mr. Green. Okay, so brown and green shouldn't matter for you, I'm hoping. We have the B, and B meaning a blue or a brown shouldn't matter, right? Okay, superb, superb. Let's take, that this is fine. Absolutely no questions on numbers here, right? Pretty simple, and this is something that has not come. These type of questions have not come for about 7 8 years, 7 to 8 years. This is what you got to watch out for. You got to watch out for this kind of questions, right? Watch out, right? You really want to be right there. If this type of question comes, this is a simple take. It can get complicated. We will do questions on this type, more on this type. A simple take, but let's see, right? Let's see. That's a pretty simple one on this type. Okay, fine. Okay, simple one. I will give you about 60 seconds. So read it and good to go. Okay, it's almost there. Okay, so that's a minute. Very simple. I'm sure most of you have got the answer right to the three questions. Super simple, easy. This is exactly what will mostly not come in the exam. But this could take, it could be a notch higher, but now how easy it is, let's try to figure that out. So, there's an island in Mars called Trinity. So I didn't know islands in Mars. There are islands in Mars. I have no clarity. There's probably Sea of Tranquility or something. But Trinity is unique. Something that I got to know today. People is only three symbols, right? They're A, V, and P. Wow, they're three symbol kind of thing to represent any number. Oh, okay. They use symbols to represent a number. Okay, they write 10 as PAP. So that's a code. They write 10 as PAP. They write 15 as PBA. And they write 27 as something like PAAA. Okay. What does it mean? Pretty simple. This must be ternary logic, like binary. We have the ternary logic. Probably that is what they're trying to imply. Let's just see. If you take the number 10, how do we express it in ternary, right? So obviously we're going to divide with 3. We find the remainder to be 1 and the quotient is 3. Again, we divide with 3, the remainder is 0 and the quotient is 1. We certainly write in the reverse order and we only write the remainders of the whatever is left behind. So we write 1, 0, 1. in the base 3, that's equivalent to 10. So we don't write any base if it is base 10, and that this is equivalent to PAP. Pretty good. So that means P is 1, A is 0, and again P is 1. Which for now I think that, if that's the case, V has to be 2. But let's just check, because we have a PVA. Right, let's try the similar thing with the number 15. So if we try with the number 15, if we divide it with 3, the remainder happens to be 0, the quotient happens to be 5. Again, if we divide with 3, the remainder happens to be 2, the quotient happens to be 1. And you notice that 1 to 0, like I said, we write it in the reverse, right? 1 to 0 in the base 3 is equivalent to 15, which means P we already know is 1, B is 2, like we said, we assume, we are not sure, and A is 0, right? We don't even have to go ahead and find out PAAA is 27, but still, since they have given, let's do that. We have all the time now in the exam, we don't care. Right, so if we divide 27 with 3, the remainder is 0, we get a quotient of 9. Again, we divide with 3, the remainder is 0, we get a quotient of 3. Again, we divide with 3, the remainder is 0, and the quotient is 1. That means 1, 0, 0, 0. That is going to be PAAA. That's in the base 3, that is equivalent to 27. Right, that's simple kind of data. The first question, they're asking, how do you write 20? So 20. 0, right? So if we divide with 3, the remainder is 2. The quotient is 6. Again, we divide 6 with 3, the remainder is 0, and the quotient is 2. So 2, 0, 2 in the base 3, that's equivalent to 20. But we know 2 is V, we know 0 is A, and we know 2 is V. So wow, whatever that is, right? So we'll write 20 as VAV. So how do we write VPAV on Earth? Now that's the reverse, right? If I look at this number, how do we change from some of the base to the system called decimal? That means the system that we follow. We're going to multiply with powers of 3. For example, in decimal, we normally multiply with powers of 2. So here, we're going to multiply, of course, with the powers of 3 instead of multiply with the power of 2. So 3 power 0 into 2. That makes it 2. That means 1 into 2 is 2. Then you look at the next one. That is, 3 power 1 into 0. That's of course going to be 0. And we're going to add all these values. So 3 square into 2. Now 3 square is 9. 9 into 2 is 18. So we have 18 plus 0 plus 2, which actually is a number 20. So that's how we did the re-engineering in this case, right? We did whatever we wanted. That's like the re-engineering types. So we got back what we wanted, right? So this is exactly what we do with numbers. But their question is slightly different, right? Their question is VPAV. So what's that value? We have a VPAV. V is 2, P is 1, A is 0, and V is 2. This is in the base 3. So we multiply with powers of 3. So that's going to be 3 power 0, 3 power 1, 3 squared, and 3 cubed. So each of these numbers will be multiplied with 3. Right? Each of these numbers will get multiplied with 3 powers, and we'll add it. We start with 3 power 0 into 2, that is 2. 3 power 1, that's 3. 3 into 0, that is 0. 3 square is 9. 9 into 1 is 9. And 3 cube is 27. 27 into 2 is 54. So if we add all these values, we have 54 plus 9, that is 63. 63 plus 2, that is 65. So the value of VPAV, that would certainly be 65. Okay, let's look at the question 3. If they write the largest possible 9-digit number, right, it is definitely 1 less than what number, right? Largest possible 9-digit number. Let's look. So what is the largest possible single-digit number in the system? That would be 2, right? That would be 2. Okay, now this would be 1 less than 3, of course, right? This would be 1 less than 3. But if they write the largest possible 2-digit number, that would be 2. But 2 for us is an equivalent to 2 power 0 into 3 power 0 into 2. and 3 power 1 into 2. That means there is 3 power 0 into 2, that is 2. 3 power 1 into 2, that is 6. 6 plus 2, that is 8. And this would be 1 less than 9. Right? Likewise, if we write a 3-digit number, the largest possible 3, because if you want to write the largest possible 3-digit number in a decimal system, it would be 999, right? Largest possible 3-digit number in our own system. So in their system, it should only definitely be used with 2's. So it is nothing but V, right? So if we say 222, that would be 2 into 3 power 0, again 2 into 3 power 1, and 2 into 3 square, which gets us 3 power 0 into 2, that is 2. 3 power 1, that is 3 into 2, which will get fetches 6, and 3 square, that is 9 into 2, which is 18, which gets us a value of 26. And this number in question, if they are asking is 1 less than what? That is 27. You notice this number is 1 less than 3 power 1. If you have a 2-digit number, it's 1 less than 3 square. If you have a 3-digit number, it is 1 less than 3 cube. We are talking of a 9-digit number, right? If it's by mathematical induction, we know for a 3-digit number, it will be 1 less than 3 cube. For a 4-digit number, likely it's going to be 1 less than 4 cube. 3 power 4. I just gave up the next question. Okay, don't worry, we'll do it in a while. So what is the largest possible 9-digit number if it is definitely 1 less than, if they write the largest possible 9-digit number, it's definitely 1 less than. Largest possible 9-digit number in their system would be 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 9 times, right, in the base 3. We are talking of the value, right? If they write the largest possible, it's definitely 1 less than what number? It's definitely 1 less than 3 power 9. So the value that they're going to express is 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 to base 3. This is 1 less than this number, that is 3 power 9. So that's your answer, right? Okay, so the short answer type, and there are 2 normal questions, right? So we'll move to the next type. Are we okay? It's very simple. You see the analysis. See the test maker is not going to really make it difficult. It's going to be simple concepts with slightly logical bend of mind, and that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do in the exam, right? Let's move on. Yeah, all good.
You can learn any subject, anywhere, any place, and on the go. Come, let us go the other way in learning. Download our revolutionary app for free.